Oh, hello. Yeah, I had the mic off. Sorry. It's going fine. How you doing? I'm still not strong enough. I'm gonna try to get a party on this, and if not, I'm gonna play PGR. No bites. No bites. No luck. It's like worse than a dating app. Worse than a dating app. Let's see if this works. Actually got somebody playing on PC. That's rare. This game is desolate wasteland on PC. Just like Avengers before it. Here it's like really hard to get a party for the raid on PC Avengers.
We're under attack!
Come on, let's skip. Thank you.
Marvelous. I'm proud of you. It's all down to you. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Let's see if that actually gives me stuff at my power levels. That's what Willie Slackmer said last night. He already finished this game. That would be really nice if true, because then you would be encouraged to actually help out people. Let's see what happens. So I only need like a little bit more.
Remarkable.
Nope, it didn't. Waste of time. Besides helping another player, I got absolutely nothing for that. All right, well back to Plan B. That was completely useless to do. I don't like when games do that. Like I should be rewarded for wanting to help somebody out. Well, let me see how much it is for another sword. If I get rid of that 42, I should go up again, I think. 42's holding me back. Let's see. Oh, I don't even have the money for it. Well, that's great. I think I just needed the screws. I don't know how I feel about progression mechanics like this, because it takes all the thought out of making a build, pretty much. Literally all of it. It's pretty much just equip the thing that gives you a bigger number, and that's it. I'm not really a big fan. I mean, there's lots of games that have this kind of thing, but I don't really like it that much. Because it's always just you can't make a build until the end. I think that's the biggest flaw with having your gear system be like this. Pretty much until the number is maxed, you can't stick with a build because you have to keep changing your gear out. It's definitely better than Avengers. It does feel like there's better builds in this game, but for the most part, it's the same problem. With Avengers, it was just the enemies scaled up to you, so it never felt like the number meant anything. In this game, it's kind of just they don't scale up. But if you don't have the right power level, then you do no damage. So it forces you to grind. I think that's kind of dumb. Could understand it being like, I don't know, 15-20% damage deficit or something, but you're literally useless. Like last night when I was playing, like I couldn't damage the boss. I could not hurt him at all. Like that's pretty dumb in my opinion. It should at least tell you, like, hey, your power level is too low. You can't damage anything in here. Let's see, what am I at right now? 47? I think I can do that now. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Maybe that will help a little bit.
Do be careful. Naturally.
I'll just alt F4 if I have to. I don't care. Just wanted to see what solo's like now that I have better gear. Have to rely on somebody to get through this game. Still got 20 minutes. It's not gonna take 20 minutes. This guy's attack is annoying.
around you.
Gun guys are always the most annoying. Every game. Especially in this game where they put, like, way more enemies than necessary. Really obnoxious. Like, perfect accuracy. That's what's great about Sifu. No guns. Like, no one has a gun in that game. Everybody's ready to throw hands.
It's all up to you.
I think it's just mostly range guys are annoying in this game
What
because
am I feeling about this?
perfect dodge doesn't really give you anything. If you build around it, it does. But like in this part of the game where you're just going through and increasing your power level for the forced grind, you don't really get much out of perfect dodging unless you get lucky.
Be careful. I'm sensing
Alright,
something
looks like this is
dangerous.
the boss coming up. I have plenty of time. Got 15 minutes. Even if I wipe, it won't take that long. Let's see. Who are we fighting now? Just a big wave, huh?
Away with you.
your platinum.
Marvelous.
This game is fun. It is. It's not bad at all. It really isn't. It's not groundbreaking, but it's not trying to be. I think the main problem with this game is the publisher really fucking up the release. It's like they could easily fix the problems with this game with patches.
Victory is yours.
They have a much better foundation than a lot of the other stuff like this, like Avengers for one. Like, this game has a pretty good foundation. It really does. I actually think this game is quite solid. Just starts out rough, and it kind of treats you like you're a kid in ways. Like, you can't handle having like more than 2 mechanics at once. Alright, what did I need to craft that that sword? Let me disassemble first. Oh, I can craft it right now. Nice. Alright, there we go. That should be a pretty fat increase. Score ranking system seems like normal platinum stuff. I don't think I have any other enhancements in here. Well, now it's 48, so that's good. Where does it want me to go now? I have to talk to somebody? Oh. I was gonna say. How do I get to the skirmishes? I'm too weak to do that. Where are these skirmishes it's talking about? Oh, here we go. All right, well, we'll check that out later. Let's go ahead and get ready. Let's see. Oh, that game is fun. It's not bad at all. It really isn't. I've played way worse games than that. Especially loot-based games. Like, that game does a lot right. It really does. It's mostly just publishers sending it out to die. That's the problem. Hold on a minute. I feel like they knew that it was gonna fail, so they put it out like right after Elden Ring and then right before Stranger of Paradise. I don't know, maybe they'll try to save it. Who knows? Avengers is still alive somehow. Barely, but it's barely alive, but it still exists. It's around. Who knows what will happen with that game, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's fun. I think Avengers and Godfall are like very similar games to Babylon, and those games are way worse experiences. I can say that for sure. What's up, Ike? Yeah, the Avengers PC port is terrible. It's actually one of the worst PC ports I've ever played. That's the other thing about Babylon as well, is it has crossplay. Playing Avengers on Steam is, it's pointless. There's no one playing. Yeah, I'm with you there. I kept having to fight with that game to get it to work, and I'm like, you know what? This shit game's not worth it. I just uninstalled it. Some things in life just aren't worth the trouble. I think that game is a perfect example of that. I'm enjoying Babylon's Fall a lot more for what it's worth. I've had fun playing it. I don't know, you gotta listen to the creators that, like, actually play the games. Not the ones that just, latch on to whatever the flavor of the week is. There's some... Havian's good. He's a good content creator. He's basically been talking about how the game is not what people say it is. It's not great. It's not groundbreaking. But the game works. It's functional. If Square Enix cares to try to salvage it, they very easily could. It's got a better foundation than both Godfall and Avengers. It's just a matter of if they'll care to do it. They might. But all you're gonna hear is that the game is the worst thing ever. It's not. I've proven that. I've had fun playing it. I'm not getting paid to play it or anything. Definitely support the creators that are honest. That will both praise and call out a game for its flaws. Those are the ones you want to support. It's not easy to do that. Yeah, there was, but it's PS5 only. Supposedly that's supposed to come out today, a demo for it. We'll probably go to the game center tomorrow and try it out. Yeah, there was a demo a couple months ago. I already bought the game, as evidenced here. I already bought it. So I got a donation last night, so we'll find out. You'll get it. You'll get it straight from me, whether it's good or not. I already bought it. Just gotta wait another 6 days. It's already been bought. It's taken care of already. People will dogpile that game too. It's not gonna get dogpiled as bad as Babylon is, but it's just gonna. People are just gonna bitch that it's not Elden Ring, which you know it never really was trying to be. So, definitely look for the right sources for that game, I'd say. That's a lot of why people are so toxic towards Babylon's, because it's not Elden Ring, and it's like, well, it was never trying to be. Elden Ring's got its fair share of problems too. Runs like crap on PC and PS5. Like, that game ain't perfect. It's a good game, yes,
Hello,
but
viewers. I am Ivy the android. I'd like to share today's dinosaur forecast. A dinosaur outbreak will soon occur. Residents in the affected area have been evacuated, and a team of exo-fighters has been dispatched. A vortex warning has been issued. Please remain indoors.
raining dinosaurs! Dino Crisis. Wish I cared. It's a weird one to bring back. I gotta say. Left field.
Making sense of this situation.
You've been living fighting the chief directors for 2 years.
All I wanted was to be IBS's top pilot.
IBS's latest dinosaur forecasts and exosuit technology were able to keep human casualties to zero.
Alright, that dude looks cool. Alright, I'm interested now. I'm interested. Got a melee guy. It's not just guns. Fucking Dinosaur Muso. What the hell? This looks so weird. Dino Muso. What the hell am I watching? What? Oh, it's not Dino Crisis. Could have fooled me.
Another exo fighter recruit, right? Welcome to IBS.
Sure looked like a Dino Crisis reboot to me, but I guess it's
State of
not.
Play returns with more announcements and updates for your favorite games.
I think people would have been pissed if that
We
was
just
Dino
saw the
Crisis,
debut
because that's
of
like
Exo Primal,
that's a
brand new
major
IP from
departure.
Capcom. It hits PS4 and PS5 next year.
Even though Dino Crisis 2 is
Next
kind of
up, let's
already
get some
that. That game
eye-popping
is more
updates for some
action.
fan favorites launching soon.
こいつは大勢の魂を借り集め、それを利用して冥界と現世をつなごうとしている。
あいつはこの先に一体何を見ているっていうんだ。
いいぞ、黄泉の国はまだ先だ。なんだか盛り上がってきたな。
こんなことが許されるはず。
あいつを止めない限り終わらない。
死んだのか。
体をよこせ。妹は助けてやる。終わらせるぞ。秋田。
で、来るんだろ一緒に。
New demo.
Later today, visit PlayStation Store to download a new demo for
Hey, we'll
Stranger
try that out
Paradise,
later.
Final Fantasy Origin.
I'm gonna be busy
Now,
soon,
let's
but
jump into
we'll
the
check
world
that
of
out later.
Forspoken with some all-new gameplay.
It is quite beautiful.
Yeah, in a everything here wants to kill you kind of way.
You know I'm a world changer. They don't make 'em like me anymore. That's why I'm so dangerous. Nothing can stop me. You can't quench the fountain. Nothing can get in my way. I had to move the mountains. I'm at the top of the world. Anything goes. Nothing can stop me. I'm on top of the world.
Let's finish this.
You better buckle up. On a whole nother dimension.
that was a new look at the sprawling PS5 adventure Forspoken from Luminous Productions. Let's check out some 6v6 action in Gundam Evolution, a fast-paced multiplayer shooter coming to PS4 and PS5.
Where's
later
Gundam
this
Breaker?
year.
Come on, man. I want to play that at a not terrible frame rate. Oh man, the boomer millennial in me is looking at this. I'm old, so... I don't know, a lot of these games are really bad though. Most of them are really bad. Turtles in Time is good. But only the Super Nintendo version. The arcade version sucks. Most of them are really bad quarter munchers. They'll sell a lot of copies of that though. But those games don't hold up at all. The arcade Turtles games are terrible. They're really bad games. They're some of the worst arcade beat-em-ups, actually. In terms of the balancing and the design.
Comes to PS4 and PS5 later this year. Next, a fan-favorite fighting game makes a beautiful and bizarre return.
Like how they put not actual gameplay.
Yareって感じだわ。ここで決着をつける。オラオラオラオラオラオラ。プラチナ、ぶっ飛びな。僕は回転の力を身につけて。
Oh, this game is coming back. Is this a PS3 game?
遅いんだよ。脱出する。何の？オラオラオラオラ。覚悟はいいか。俺はできた。知れ者が。
Yeah, this is that PS3 game. It came out like 10 years ago.
私に策がある。協力してやる。ほら、ほら、久々先生。スターレッジ、ハモン。罰の時間だ。流し込む。よくも。惨殺処刑だ。チャリオッツ。あ、行くわよ。始末させてもらうぞ。
すべて超えてやる。そのまま眠りな。
てめえ。
全力で
打ちかますぞ。
Yeah, that game ran at 30 FPS, which kind of ruined any chance it had at being competitive. I heard it was decent.
next
30
two games
FPS
hit you
fighting
beyond
games
life
are
and death.
no bueno.
お前はここでしまいじゃ。お前がこうしておるうちに、我が君はすでにお前の村に入っておる。お前がしたものとも今や守ることができまい。
My knowledge of JoJo extends to the Dreamcast game. But I knew some people who played that PS3 game and it ran at like 30 FPS, so... And the netcode was terrible.
Trapped in an endless cycle. Fighting. Dying. Returning. Always the same. Yet always changing.
Astra, I'm not alone. Not anymore.
Now I stand before the endless tower. I climb as Sisyphus did.
Bloody Palace!
Pushing the blood upward.
The endless tower.
No matter how high I climb, the challenge begins again.
Best way to make any like game like that better is just copy DMC. Even if it's not melee combat, just add a bloody palace.
But I fight on through the infinite.
Easiest way to make a good game better. Just copy DMC.
Seeking ascension.
Just a big ass palace of dudes to fight. It doesn't matter if it's melee or ranged combat.
This tower, and I will
Easiest
find
way.
it.
I'm glad this game is getting that. Not a game for me, obviously, but it's always good to see. Always good to see devs doing that. Like, just put a bloody palace in the game. Makes
Housemarque is bringing
pretty much
campaign
anything
co-op
better.
and a mysterious new survival mode to Returnal Ascension, a free update hitting this March. It's almost time to sign off, but before we do, let's get a first look at two brand new games coming from Square Enix.
Is this really what you want?
And you are certain that what we are doing is best for the people of the kingdom?
Yes. I suppose it would, in a sense. True. Yes. It made me wonder, am I still that same person?
The era of myths gives way to an era of great turmoil. The continent was ravaged by the devastating war between the Empire and the Alliance. However, one nation remained unaffected by the chaos. The Kingdom of Alatane, Ward of the Augurs, looked destined to have its soil stained with the blood of battle.
We've finally been called up. We're up against the Empire's main army.
We are to eradicate every last Imperial who comes ashore. Keep focused.
Come on, everyone!
And now you will die.
Do you really have such a yearning for war? I can't comprehend it.
So then, what shall we do now?
We're going to retake it.
This is our chance while they're all assembled. We should send our best and crush them.
That's right. All the more reason to avoid bloodshed. It also likely means that we're in danger. I suppose it is the only way for us to survive.
If the will to fight still lingers within you,
Oh, is this Valkyrie profile?
accept my offer and join me.
Sure looks like it to me.
Valkyrie, heed my words. Ragnarok tears our world asunder. All we hold precious lies on the brink of annihilation.
Sure seems like it is. They already said the V word. Valkyrie might as well be a gamer word at this point. Wow, I'll play that.
Your efforts to remain undetected are lacking. Reveal yourself.
There's wrist.
Who are you?
It only took like
That's all for
18
today.
years.
We'll see you soon with another State of Play.
Well, there you go. That's pretty cool. The Valkyrie profile 2 is kind of a mixed bag, in my opinion. The combat system was okay. The graphics were beautiful. I actually think that's one of the best looking PS2 games. The cutscenes were terrible. They were way worse. The cutscenes and the plot was a lot worse than the first game. The second game is still good, though. The fact that you can skip cutscenes is nice, too. That was the worst thing about the first game. First game, I definitely recommend watching the story the first time you play that game, but every other time you play it, that game is terrible to replay because there's so many cutscenes you can't skip. It's interesting that they're not even bothering to kind of try to save that battle system. I honestly think it's for the better. I don't think there's much that can really be done with it. 2 already changed it a lot with like the whole weird like RTS slash turn-based slash fighting game battle system. It was like, I feel like that game had a little bit of an identity crisis. Because you had like the RTS part where like you had to avoid the hit zones, but then like moving drained your stamina. But then once you actually initiated combat, it was just like Valkyrie Profile 1. So it's interesting that they're just going straight real time. I don't think having the old battle system would really work in 2023. I don't think that would work. The first game is a great game. It's just really only the first time you play it. There's just too much cutscenes. The cutscenes are great. They make you care about every character you recruit, even though you might not use them. But it makes playing the game terrible. For instance, the speedrun of Valkyrie Profile, the first half hour of it has like maybe a minute of gameplay. And it's engrossing. It's immersive the first time you play it. But you go back and play it again, especially in a short amount of time. That game's pacing is terrible. As far as I know, all the versions they made of it, they never let you skip the cutscenes, which is a shame. It has a great story, but there's too much of it the second time you play. The second one is kind of like the late era of Tri-Ace, where they let you skip everything. But the story is a lot worse in 2, so it's almost like they knew. The story in 2 is not as good, and the cutscenes and the direction of them is really bad. Somehow just having static pixel art sprites was better than going full 3D. Well, if they can nail the combat, I think that they can do pretty well. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. But yeah, the Valkyrie Profile speedruns, like, the first half hour, there's like one battle. Some people that speedrun that game, they actually just make a save in the first dungeon. But then some people have this debate where it's like, there is like, maybe like a minute or two of gameplay in the intro. So some people argue that you're skipping gameplay, but most people, I don't know if anyone's actively speedrunning that game right now, but that was a debate for a while. It's just like, it's not completely devoid of gameplay, but it might as well be. And you know, if you're speedrunning the game, you have already played the story, you've already seen it. Two wasn't bad at all. There were some aspects of it that were worse. I just wonder if it's like if it's a reboot or not. Because like there hasn't been a Valkyrie Profile game in like almost 15 years. And the last one there was a DS turn-based strategy game. So not a lot of people played it. I don't know if they're like going into that like wanting to have that kind of baggage. It's like you can't legally buy any of those games anymore. You have to go emulate them. I'm curious if it's like if it's just a reboot. Or maybe they're just gonna have like some slight calls to the first 2 games, but like nothing that's gonna make you have to go out and buy them. The first one is on mobile for what it's worth. They have a mobile port of the first game, so they might be writing it just assuming that maybe you'll play that one. But I don't know, it's weird. I'm not quite sure how that would work, 'cause they haven't made those games available in a long time. Is Dawn of the Monsters good? Yes. Does it have replay value? No. Is it worth $30? I guess you could say that depends. Basically, you finish the game and there's nothing. There's no like extra mode or anything, and it has like it has everything it needs to have like a Bloody Palace type thing. It already has like gear and characters and stuff like that, but there's nothing of the sort. So when you finish the game, only real things to do is get the achievements and play again with the other characters. But the problem with playing with the other characters is you have gear from finishing the game, and it basically trivializes it until you get down to the bottom. 30 bucks for that game. If you're the kind of person that only plays a beat 'em up like once, I would argue it's worth it. It's got good production values, good story. The combat is good too. But if you're an old fart like me and you like arcade beat 'em ups that you can beat in like an hour or less, and you just keep replaying them when you're bored, or you just want a quick adrenaline rush, that game won't provide it pretty much. It's too long. It's in this weird spot where it's too long. It's too long to be like something you play. You just boot up and play, like Streets 4, Fight and Rage, or Mayhem Brawler. Those are all some of the best beat 'em ups that have come out in the past couple years. But it's also too short. You finish the game and there's nothing to really do. They did say that they want to add something like that to the game at some point, but it depends on sales. And I think at 30 bucks, the replay value is very lacking. That's a problem that a lot of beat 'em ups have. The ones that get made, like, I'd say the past 10, 15 years, is they have to balance it between people that want, like, Castle Crashers, something you can play with friends that you can't beat right away, and then balancing it around old farts, aging millennials like me in their 30s that grew up with arcade beat 'em ups and you just play them over and over, and you just have things that like make it fun to play repeatedly, even though a single playthrough is not that long. I don't envy anybody trying to make a beat 'em up right now, because that's a very hard thing to balance. But yeah, those other beat 'em ups I mentioned have much better replay value, and they're cheaper too. So it just depends on what you're looking for, really. So that's part of why Castle Crashers was so successful, is because it was a longer game, and you could play with friends, and it had online. So you know, you could meet up every couple weeks and beat the game and stuff, and you didn't have to be in the same room with people. Dawn of the Monsters does not have anything like that. Yeah, it's a solid game. I beat it twice. You can see right here. Hold on. You can see I beat it. I beat it again on the review key. All I have left to do is achievements, pretty much. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not one of the best beat 'em ups to play if you want to play it more than once. I mean, there's plenty of people like that. Plenty of people beat Streets 4 one time with their friends and they never went back, and that's cool. But you know, I grew up with the OG beat 'em ups, Double Dragon, you know, Vendetta and shit like that. You know, River City Ransom, all those games. That's the kind of beat 'em up I prefer. Yeah, hopefully they'll add more to it. I don't know if I can really recommend it. It depends on what you're looking for, really. Like that Ninja Turtles collection, I'm not going to buy that because those games are terrible. The arcade games are awful. A lot of people have not gone back and played Konami games after they've gotten older. The Konami beat 'em ups, like after they aged and they played more games and they kind of got a better idea of like what good game design is. Those games are awful. Like, they're really bad. They don't compare to the stuff Capcom was putting out at all in that era. The Capcom games were balanced around being able to beat them on one credit. Yes, the game would screw you over randomly. Final Fight is well known for screwing you over at random. But it's still designed that, you know, you can get somewhat consistent at clearing it on one credit. The Konami Ninja Turtle beat 'em ups. Also, the X-Men game is another one too. That game is a piece of shit to play. They have not aged well. They weren't good when they came out. They were heavily carried by the fact that there was they had popular IPs. They had X-Men and Turtles, which was big when you were a kid. But they're terrible games to go back and play. Yeah, the Super Nintendo one is a good game. The arcade version it's based on is terrible. The throws are random. The hit stun is random. Like, they're not good beat 'em ups. I'm curious to see if those are the arcade or Super Nintendo versions of Turtles in Time, because that would make it worth buying right there. I would buy it if it was the SNES version, but the arcade version is garbage. It's not a good game. I remember when they remastered X-Men back on PS3 and 360, and people kind of got a taste of like how bad those games actually are. You know, when you're in your 20s to early 30s and you play those games again, I'm like, you know, this sucks. The graphics are nice. The music is great. I still listen to the soundtrack to that game a lot, but actually playing it is bad. Am I getting the Ninja Turtles game? Yeah, that one looks good. But that game's made by competent people. I'm talking about the old... They just announced a new Ninja Turtles collection of the old games at the State of Play a couple minutes ago. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that game looks sick. I'll definitely be playing that one. Hold on, let me see if PGR is up. If it's not, then I'm gonna hop off for now. Oh, a donation. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thanks, whoever that was. I don't want to say your real name. Wasn't expecting that. Thank you. 10 smackaroonies. Thank you. Alright, we'll play PGR for a little bit. And then, probably gonna... I have to go run some errands around 4:30, so... I don't have too much time, but there'll be at least one more stream today. Might not do a kitty sitting stream today. We'll see. Give me a moment here. I gotta get all my personal stuff off the phone. Yeah, he's working on a new game. It does not have a name yet. But yes. We'll definitely play whatever that guy puts out. That guy is a prodigy. That man is a hero. What a legend, man. Make like a better action game than big companies can do, and then do it by yourself, and then just leave. I mean, that's Chad energy right there. Just make like drop a masterpiece, just leave. He's not gone though. He's just takes him a while. That's the thing though, Assault Spy already has like Axle mode and Clock Up from Kamen Rider. He even says Clock Up. Kind of already is, really. It's just subtle. I gotta use that mascot you gave me. I just don't know a way to really use it. I still have it. We'll have to do another Assault Spy Extreme Mode playthrough at some point. I don't know if I'll have time to do it this month, but that is something I want to do. I want to play that game again. The hard difficulty in that game is actually fun. Well, it is after I got on them about reducing their health. Assault Spy Extreme Mode actually used to be pretty bad. Their guard bar was like way too long, but he nerfed it quite a bit, and now it's actually a fun way to play the game. I partially take that back. I forgot about that. One of the last patches he did, he nerfed Extreme Mode. And I beat Extreme Mode pre-nerf. I did beat it pre-nerf. I think I have the VOD on here somewhere. Have played any of the Shenmue games? No. Besides my going to my friends' houses and them making fun of them? No, I haven't. He used to make fun of the guy lifting the crates. He used to always just play that and laugh at it. I never actually played those games, though. Despite being one of the few people who had a Dreamcast, I never really had any interest. I find it hilarious that Shenmue 3 took like almost 20 years to come out and didn't finish the story. The game bombed. Talk about pissing off your whatever fan base is left at that point. The third game finally comes out and doesn't resolve anything. I mean, how does that happen? I can't even fathom how that happens. But it did. Apparently that game does not resolve anything. They left it open because they thought it was going to be like this big success, and it wasn't. That's what makes me glad I never played those games. There's videos about how that game like doesn't really resolve much of anything. The game is kind of pointless. That's the thing, though. The new one doesn't resolve the plot at all. So it has no reason to exist. I don't know, I feel like Shenmue 3 was doomed the moment that it didn't actually have a publisher. They didn't have funding for it. They had to make a Kickstarter for it. It's never a good sign when a legendary developer like that can't get funding. Like, you think with his pedigree, somebody would just give him bags of money. Then selling out to Epic just made things worse. But then, like, even if they hadn't done that, they had like no plan to actually like conclude the storyline at all, which I think was the nail in the coffin. Because it's never fun playing something story oriented that doesn't resolve the fucking plot, you know? Like, there's plenty of games that aren't story oriented that are fine. You know, the story isn't the reason you're like playing the game. That game is pretty much all about story, and they didn't even finish it, so the game kind of doesn't really have much of a reason to exist. Might as well have just rebooted it at that point. I mean, you take 20 years to make a new game, and then you don't actually resolve the story. Like, what's the point? Like, there's no point left. You know, story-oriented games aren't for me, but I feel like they're even harder to get right. You, like, don't have much to it besides the story, and you can't even get that right. Like, what's left? I hate this stupid puzzle! Just let me kill it! Especially because I'm playing on controller. It's annoying. Just fight the thing, please. Gotta have some bunk-ass puzzle all the time. Every game. Thank you. Let's go ahead and switch to global. So I haven't played global at all today. Run through the event really quick, and then I'm gonna actually stop streaming for now. So I have to go pick up my meds shortly. My neighbor wants me to pick up dinner next door to the pharmacy, so I'll probably stream over there. It's kind of why I'm doing this now. So I kind of felt like playing emulators tonight, and not this. Last night over there, my kitty sitting stream, I didn't do any. I did barely any retro. Just been playing this a lot. Let's see. I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that later. Yeah, sure thing, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I got some adulting to do really shortly, so I don't really have time right now. We'll play more Babylon's Fall tonight. Kimochi yokata. Is it out now? Is it out? If it's out right now, I'll download it. But I have to leave very soon. And then I have to go straight to my second job after that, so I have a lot of time right now. Is it out right now? Can someone check? If it is, then I'll queue it up before I go. But I gotta leave in like an hour, so. Yeah, check for me. I'd appreciate that. Thank you. I won't have time to check that out until tonight, pretty much. Because I have to go to kitty sitting, like, pretty much as soon as I leave the pharmacy. Actually, I'll check right now, too. If it's not up, then, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I gotta charge up the phone, because I'm going straight from the pharmacy to next doors. My neighbor wants Jack in the Box. And then, I gotta head over to her house and take care of the cats. So, I would play more right now, but I kinda can't. Shit to do today. Yeah, I'm not seeing it up right now, and I don't see it at all. Alright, folks. I'll probably do a kitty sitting stream. Probably won't be PGR, actually. Probably be emulators tonight. So if that's your thing, I know I've gotten a lot of people asking for me to play like older games and stuff, and that's pretty much what I do on my my streams when I'm at my neighbor's house. I call them kitty sitting streams, as I play a lot of retro. I play like playing mostly PS2 games lately. I do a little bit of Dreamcast, PSP, as you can see here. I have Dolphin as well, but the games are not like running that great. I need to figure out how to fix that first. But yeah, I play a lot of. That's where I do my. It's like my retro block. I don't really play the retro much when I'm at home, so I'm usually like working on new games. But yeah, if you're one of those people that's always asked like, why don't you play older games? Well, I bought this new phone about 2 months ago that does exactly that. Like, I can show you all the stuff I have on here before I go. I got all these PS2 games. All these Dreamcast games. You can tell I'm a big fan of the Dreamcast. A couple games in here, but they're not working too well right now. I need to fix that first. Some GameCube games too. And then in RetroArch, I have a DS, Game Boy Advance, SNES, NES, Arcade, and Saturn. So if you like old games, I recommend going by my kitty sitting streams. They're usually around 6 to 7 PST, and I usually go until about 8:30. So usually 90 minutes to 2 hours. That's where I play my older stuff. I will be playing them on these home streams probably more. So it's a real pain in the ass to switch the save files back and forth. The phone runs pretty much all the games perfectly after I tweak them. So, yeah. That's what I'll be doing later tonight. And then when I get home from that, we'll check out the Stranger Paradise demo. And then I'm supposed to be playing Babylon's Fall and getting through the campaign. But that's going to do it for now, folks. I'll see you guys I'd estimate about 3.5 hours, roughly, I should be on. Depends on how much work there is to do over there today. Thanks for watching.